Hi everyone, Troy Thompson here over at the I Know Expo 2018 with Elder Law Lexington. Let me introduce you to Mr. Robert. How are you?
I'm doing fine, Troy. Thanks for asking.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about what elder law is.
Elder law is primarily a focus of attorneys to the older community or the special needs community.
Okay, so let's break that down for everyone that's watching this. What are some of the services that when you say looking after the seniors or handicapped people?
I always say that the three most important documents that everybody needs as they age are the powers of attorney for health care, power of attorney for financial purposes, and living wills. Those three documents help people age easily where there might be needs that they can't attend to themselves. Say children can do it, representatives can do it, those kinds of things, spouses certainly.
Okay, I want to ask you a question because this just happened to me as well. My father just recently passed away. He did not want to do a will. We knew that because he had cancer,
right,
and we knew this was happening. How did children try to convince their families, their parents, to do a will?
Why don't you ask me an easy question? You know, some people as they age are so much focused on control. They've always had control of their estate. And it's very difficult to admit that I'm passing away. And I've been told that, but I'm still alive. I can still control things. Unfortunately, at some point in the continuum, we lose the ability to do that. And what children need to do, and parents need to do, is to get out in front of that and have that hard discussion. It's called the other talk.
Oh,
okay?
The other talk.
The other talk with your children.
Understand.
And it's real important to get those documents in place so that as things decompensate, then somebody's standing there able to pick up and support you as you get older.
Okay, if someone has a will that may be 15 or 20 years old,
right,
and I say, Dad, I really would like this to be updated, how important it is to update your will and how often should that happen?
You know, some of the statistics that I've read are that the average between when we make a will and the time we get it looked at is 17 years.
17 years?
Yeah, 17 years. Wow. And what happens in 17 years after you've had a child, that child is now an adult.
Yes.
So we really don't need a guardian for that child. The law supports that, and if there are components in a will that don't apply anymore, they just overlook them. But it's important, I think, to update or at least get somebody to look at your will about every 2 years. You ought to open it up, take a look at it, and see that the people that you've appointed, like foreguardian of your children or the executor or even some of those dispositions of your property, they need to be updated.
That's the most important thing also. Okay, if your parents have passed on and you have taken care of their will, do you maintain looking after that will for the family, or is that then passed on to another company?
Typically, the executor is responsible for executing the estate.
Yes.
And in Kentucky, normally people will have things in joint ownership, but if it's not, then the state is going to make sure that at some point somebody's going to take over that property. So it's a setup of 6-month minimum.
Yes.
Once a will is filed for the administration of the estate. Some estates could stay open a long time depending on what the responsibilities are, like trusts that are under will.
Oh, yes,
and a trustee
course.
might be appointed that's, say, a bank or an individual to take over the responsibility of handling the property. It could go on a long time.
Okay, for people watching at home, tell me the top 3 questions you should ask your mum and dad.
Ah, boy, the top 3 questions.
Not how much money am I getting, Mum?
Probably one of them most important to the children, but I think that, do you have power of attorney in place so that somebody can manage your affairs? All right. Do you have a living will? And have you planned for your long-term care? That's one of the most important components that elder law attorneys look at. Is I want to know. I always say that traditional estate planners are going to tell you what happens when you die. I'm going to tell you what happens if you don't die, because I'm worried about about how you pay for your long-term care. So many people as they age, say when somebody's 70 years old, 70% of the people who go past 70 years old are going to have long-term care at some level. And so you want to be able to pay for it, whether it's, and there are 4 ways to pay for long-term care. One is you have lots of money. Another is you have insurance. Veterans have long-term care available to them through, say, Thompson Hood and the other facilities in Kentucky. And finally, you've got Kentucky Medicaid, and Medicaid is the payer, the government payer, not Medicare, but Medicaid is the government payer if somebody is low on funds. And so you want to look at those kinds of planning. Anybody could plan for Medicaid and not spend all their money, but they have to get out ahead of time most of the time.
Okay, well, Robert, you've given us great information. How do people get hold of you to find out how they can come in and make an appointment?
Okay. They can call our office at 859-543-0061, or we have a 800 number. It's 800-773-4040. That's 4040. And we'd be glad to spend time with anybody.
I think that's fantastic. Thank you for all you do
Thank
for our
you,
services and all our senior citizens. Elder Law Lexington, everyone, is the number to give them a call. We appreciate you, Robert.